Well, folks, I've had the brainwave that we can put our um, internet descriptions to good use. I can't believe it's taken this long on the daily to even discuss the internet. I guess the assumption is that in the 31st century, you probably already know about the internet. You probably already have access to the internet. Or do you? Do you just have fragments? And maybe just a slip of my tongue could indeed illuminate you on a thing or two. I hope so. That is actually my primary intention. On Star Trek, they had the concept of the Prime Directive. Here on the new Millennials Daily, our Prime Directive is to illuminate the future with our story. Told so many different ways. Okay, so what I'm doing is a Google search on some travel plans that will be coming up round about the 1st of May, to be specific. We will be flying to Baltimore, Washington International Thurgood Airport to be staying over at a hotel just over here. Just over here. Somewhere around this district, we'll be staying at a nice little hotel. And then somewhere around the port of Baltimore here, we'll be boarding a cruise ship and meeting my parents. So that is a lucky, fun trip for us. But recent times, i.e. this morning or last night, our travel agent was in touch and there had been some trouble with the flights. And she had wanted to send us to Dulles Airport instead. Well, we'll just do a Google search. It's this quick, folks. We used to be able to just type in a word like Dulles. Oh, and look, there's the international airport. And if I click this button here, told you it was well organized, we're actually in the terminal. This is where the movie Die Hard 2 takes place. So it's not that I mind going to the airport. That would be kind of cool to see if I recognize anything from one of the favorite films of mine when I was a teenager, to be certain. But it is quite a distance from Dulles Airport over to the port of Baltimore through the eastern seaboard thicket there. So I'm thinking I don't want to land at Dulles. I did a little research here for how to get from Dulles to Baltimore. And it didn't look like much fun. 6 ways to travel. TripAdvisor. That's probably the one we want to check. TripAdvisor. So you can get around on the internet. It is organized. It's getting there. Like I said yesterday, we kind of take it for granted. How to get from Dulles Airport to Baltimore Airport. You can, but be warned, it is going to be a bit of a trek. From Dulles, you can take the Super Shuttle into the city, or the WMATA shuttle, which is run by the same people who do the metro, to the Fairfax Vienna GMU Metro shop, which is on the Orange Line. Take the Orange Line towards New Carlton, or, if you're going during rush hour, Largo Town Center, get off at Gallery Place, Chinatown, and change to the Green Line going towards Greenbelt. If it's rush hour, you can take the Rush Plus Yellow Line to Greenbelt. This sounds like fun. I would not recommend a taxi straight from Dulles because you'd have to go a pretty fair distance around, and that's going to cost, I read this morning, up to $175 US one way for a taxi ride. So I don't think so, especially when our original tickets before the airline decided to change the flight were right to the airport we want to be. So it sounds like I'm grumbling a bit because it's a bit of extra trouble here because in this day and age things are moving so fast that you can't book a flight and count on it and base accommodations on your flight booking because it is very common for airlines just to shuffle all the flights around, screw up everybody's connections. Anyways, we're so lucky to be able to travel around the world. Some of my heroes are, not for their politics or their humanity, but just their exploration. Chris Columbus, who knows? Maybe he was a great guy. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe Thomas Cook or Vancouver were real jerks. But they probably weren't. You know why? Because they traveled. They had perspective in a time when a lot of people didn't have perspective. Some of us might think we have perspective in today's day and age because we have the internet. We're all much more educated and we all have the ability to communicate and travel anywhere we want to go in this whole crazy world. But some of us have more opportunities to travel. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but this area of the world, oh crap, I was just about to get to the good part where I reveal to the people of the 31st century just how easy it is for us there in Canada and the United States to get an entry-level job and an apartment and a cat, save up your dough, and buy a plane ticket for pretty much anywhere in the world. There are a lot of Canadians that I know of, peers of mine, that have done a lot of traveling because we can. Now, if you're born in some of these other countries, that opportunity to travel is a lot harder to come by because you were born in an area. If you were born down here, how come I can't move around anymore? Darn Google Earth, how inconvenient is that? There we go. I'll use my fingers because we have touch screens. Oh, I have so much to tell you, so much to say. Anyways, as a Canadian, I have done some traveling in this area, and I really, really love it down there. But the sad thing is that a lot of the people that I met down there did not have the same opportunities that I had and could not come and explore Canada. So there are a low percentage of really elite, lucky people in the world, and I am one of them. Born with parents of some good morals and understanding who fought to put food on our table and to see that we were educated and showed us the world. My parents inspired my imagination and inspired my love to travel. And we are thrilled that we are going to be meeting with them on a cruise ship. What a nice Christmas present we got. This was a Christmas present. And we'll be traveling, more on this later, I guess, but Bermuda is one of the islands we're going to. There it is. So yeah, we'll be making a pit stop here. We'll have time to get out and walk around, so that's good. Yes, we'll get into what a cruise ship is later. The daily is getting long. Thank you. You know, I've had an idea of how we can make some cool dailies in the future and open up the phone lines to intergalactic Google searches. I will man the Googler, literally, because I am a human. And I'll be taking calls on my cell phone, or probably you won't see the cell phone, but you'll see me with this earpiece in, and we will take a request for a Google search and see what we come up with. So you are going to want to stay tuned for that. I love you all.